Hey guys, my name is Jasmine Cruz and I'm going to be doing my art talk on the Vishvantha temple. And I actually did this, did my discussion too on this temple and just Hinduism in general. And I thought this would just be a good time to talk about it more and just like how it was made and who it was made by and just like the context of why it was made and some personal stories to it also. One thing that I learned while researching the temple and just Hinduism belief in general is that Hindu temples are considered to be dwelling places of their god. And so this temple specifically is said to be a dwelling place of Shiva, the god Shiva, which is the Lord, which is their idea of the Lord of Lord and the Lord of creation and the Lord of destruction. So this is Shiva. For me, when I think of temples, I think of dwelling places of worship, places that the Holy Spirit would be in, and this is totally opposite for Hinduism. It is not a house of worship at all. It is strictly a temple of where their God lives, and so they do have many gods in their beliefs. So imagine having a structure as beautiful as this one, so intricate and having so much detail for each of your god. It's very mind-blowing, and it's one reason why I picked this structure. And so this structure was originally made in the 1490s, but it was destroyed in a Mughal invasion, and a lot of it was destroyed except for a western side of the temple. And so a mosque was built in replace of it. But because the western side was still standing and it had very intricate and very fine artwork on it, they didn't decide to knock it down. They did decide to leave it remaining. It wasn't until the 17th century that the temple that we see right now, or you can go to northern India and see, was built. It is said that the god that dwells in there, which is Shiva, came to Ran Bahalkar of Indore, which I probably butchered that name, so just bear with me. But Shiva came to this person in a dream and told them that she needed a temple to dwell in again and that they needed to build her this temple. And so this person, being very dedicated to Shiva and had a big belief in Shiva, went out and got the manpower to make this temple built again. And this temple is actually a very close depiction of what the temple originally looked like. And here's another photo of a landscape picture of the temple, and you can just see from a farther point of view of how detailed and how much work was put into rebuilding this temple. One characteristic of the temple is that it has this ascending height, so it starts from lower and it gets higher. This is supposed to symbolize the Himalayan mountains and how it just gradually reaches their peak. And one personal story of why I picked this temple again was because every year for the summer and for winter time, we go to North Carolina, usually, where we have a house there. And we love to go hiking, and we just love being in the mountains and viewing the mountains. And as soon as I saw this structure, at least from this point of view, it reminded me of a mountain, like straight off, how from it just gradually gets higher and like how it slants down. It just looked to me as a mountain, and it made me just think of North Carolina right off the bat. And so I loved that. And also, if you look here at the top of the main tower here, you can see these like little circles or similar pieces here, and they're called hurdles, and they believe that these would represent hurdles in your personal life and how you would reach oneness with the universe. And so obviously not everyone believes this, but in Hinduism they do, and they have a big love for this temple and all the temples that are built for their god, because it takes so much work to build one. If I had to pick one thing that I didn't totally agree about with these temples would be the sexual representation that they have behind here. I'll show you a photo which you can see more or less what I'm talking about, but here I just wanted to show you this photo of how detailed and how much work it took for this temple to be built. You can just take a moment and you can just look at everything in this photo, from the different avatars to the elephants to the many different pillars that were built, and how some of the pillars have carvings and other animals in it, which is just awe-inspiring. And seeing like that someone did this, like people came together as unity to make this temple, is inspiring. It is crazy. But like I was saying, the sexuality of Hinduism, they believed that a sexual union represented a union with their God, which is kind of different and just not really, something I would say I would be close to God because of like sexuality. But if you look in or zoom in, you can see here this pose is a very sexual pose, and this person here is kissing, and a lot of the women's structure on the temple they're naked and just very revealing, and this is something that they treasure and they think is a beautiful aspect of the temple, which I wouldn't agree with, but in their beliefs, so I would not talk down to it. But I was just so intrigued on how much work was made to do this, and how they are so in awe of their gods that they would spend time to get a structure here. And I would gonna end my my arts talk on this photo of the Lord Shiva, or the god Shiva, which is what this temple was built off. And you can see that around here it looks shinier and it looks more polished. And this section of the temple was painted with a gold paint to represent the holiness of the God of creation, and to show how much love they have towards this structure. So I hope that you learned something new about a temple and why they were built, and about this temple, and just really take in how much work was done for this. I wish you guys a great rest of your week, and I can't wait to watch your guys' video and view your guys' art or structure that you picked, and to just learn and really get to know different cultures from it. Have a great day. Bye.